Okay, hello everyone. Um, this is Musement's Vlogs, Hauls, and Reactions, and I wanted to talk about um, react to a react to a react. For this gentleman named Tectone, I recently got into Genshin Impact last November because right now I'm looking for work and there's nothing to do right now at the time, and also keeping myself busy with other hobbies of mine. So I wanted to react to his reaction. It's going to be a react to a react to a react and make it known because I already went through this and I have some points to talk about that would probably be a little informative, just from research and just from J-vloggers and people who've been overseas in Asia, particularly in Japan, which China, it's kind of the same. Um, and yeah, so I'll go get started. Warning to those who are my religious audience, there is cursing in this. And I will give kind of an opinion at the end. Well, not at the end, but you know, I will make pauses and bring some more insight into this because I think I know what the root issue is.
See Tawano talk about at all, and I am very curious to see what someone like Tawano would say about the 4.4 anniversary. Let's or 4.4 rewards. Let's see what he says.
Okay, for context, this is about Genshin Impact. I got wave of a few videos just out of curiosity, and it's I would quote unquote say drama, but the issue is they're going to they're just giving them three not primogems. No. Three fates, which you use those fates to pull a character or a sword or something, or weapon, whatever. And it's a gotcha game at the same time, a little bit of that. And sometimes you get like certain characters. So China is mad and they're unfollowing a lot of stuff, a lot of sponsors. They're unfollowing the Hoyoverse, which is the company that makes it. I don't really care for this company. I just wanted to take my mind off, also because Genshin Impact's popular. So, also, I'm sorry if I'm off camera. I look like a greasy rat and I did want to show my face. And I did want to doll up for this.
I'm not unaware to the 4.4 Genshin Impact talk.
Hey, I'm gonna just keep it a buck, bro. If I didn't talk about this shit, nobody would have talked about this shit. I'm gonna keep it 100%. Okay, hey, boys, we're making a change in the gotcha gaming community. It feels good. Feels very, very, very good. Imagine that, man. Okay, they call me gotcha Jesus. I will die for their sins, but let's just, it's symbolic, guys, symbolic. Okay, I'm tired of having to carry.
It's all right. I get what you're trying to say to a certain extent. I would probably consider you like a revolutionary, like the French Revolution or something like that.
Pistol around me everywhere I go.
Especially now that the CN is taking action, the community are following Genshin Impact. Well, the reason is, in a way, Mihoyo's kind of disrespecting our love for the game. After a year, or maybe multiple years, actually.
So it's important to correct what he said. Hoyoverse. It's not Mihoyo. Hoyoverse.
Okay, I think I'm just noticing from his blinking he really doesn't want to do this video at all, and I'll get to it in a moment of why.
And it's also important to know it's not all of Hoyoverse, just the Genshin Impact team of Hoyoverse. And I see a lot of people saying it's Hoyoverse as a whole. It's not. And that's the whole problem, right? Is that people just say Hoyoverse is, no, they're not. It's,
yeah, I think it has a lot to do with their team. For what I understand, a lot of people are speculating that it's from different departments and everything. Oh, by the way, I'm a fairly new player. I've been playing this since November. Oh, never mind. I think I already said that.
just a branch of Hoyoverse, right? The other branches of Hoyoverse are actually treating Honkai Impact great, Honkai Star Rail great. It's just the Genshin branch, which is why the argument exists of, if Honkai Star Rail can treat us with such respect, why can't Genshin Impact's branch do the same?
Actually, of supporting the game, they're deciding to give us pretty low rewards, and I understand the frustration.
It's not pretty low, it's disgustingly low.
And I think we deserve more.
I agree.
Talked about this in this video, so
Yep.
take a listen.
Okay.
All right, the real talk, the real news I want to talk about. Recently, 4.4 live stream happened, and it's Lantern Rite. It's a time where people celebrate one of the biggest Asian holidays, Lunar New Year.
Yep.
Yeah, and since that doesn't really, I don't vibe with that holiday. So we kind of made it when I was in elementary school. They kind of talked about it in passing, just to, cultural diversity and stuff like that. So I haven't been playing this game for years, but I completely understand where people are coming from for the years that they've been playing, and they're getting chunk change, to say the least.
Chinese New Year or Vietnamese New Year, the way I grew up, call
Never
it.
had it.
Or whatever New Year you want to call it. It's a time for everyone to celebrate and have a good time and wish good luck and fortune for everyone, right?
Right.
4.4 Genshin is really mostly surrounding that, and usually a lot of rewards come with it.
Yeah, and I'm also going to be real. The Lantern Rite Festival is just it's the same boring ass shit. It's a bunch of mainly lackluster quests tied to some bullshit that nobody gives a fuck about, with a bunch of events that suck. Let's just be real. Lantern Rite, I don't know who gets excited about it still. It should pretty much just be a reward dump, and instead it's just a bunch of shitty ass quests. Also, Jesus, unga bunga, bro. Tawano came back from the caves with this policy.
And I'll say one thing. Sometimes some of the quests are just so overly complicated at times, where I'm like, I'm stuck. I should not apply for so many quests at the same time, because I'm so confused at the time. It's really, for a new player, very overwhelming. But I like the Fontaine area. I know some people don't, but I personally like it just because of the artistic nature of it. And as an artist, I can see the Art Deco influence in the game. A lot of French and not really American, but stuff from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. I kind of get a vibe, steampunk idea.
However, you probably saw this on Twitter.
Yep.
All right, Genshin's Douyin account, which is basically the Chinese TikTok,
Yep.
has lost over 1 million followers today. That was
This is old news. It's actually 3 million now.
written for the 21st. So yesterday, at the time of filming this, they lost 1 million followers. It says Chinese players were dissatisfied with Chinese New Year rewards.
Yeah, they lost 1 million followers for each poll they gave. 3 polls minus 3 million followers.
And the strike began.
And that leads me to why exactly are they is Hoyoverse a small company with a small team of people, and it's not as big as some of us would think or something? I mean, there's some people that try to make them seem like they're a big talk and huge and everything, when really they're not. It's just that's just like anything for companies to try and make themselves look good.
What? Why? Why lose follower? Why? Isn't every year supposed to be great fortune and big reward? Gigantic reward.
Yep.
Why? Why unhappy? Why so sad? Well, we take a deeper look into it. They actually went from 9.3 million to 8.7 million just from the day.
Yeah, they actually subverted this by getting a bunch of fake followers to refollow their accounts to make it look like they didn't lose anything.
Oh yeah, I understand the bots. There's some people I'm just like, well, just why? Just why? They try to make it seem big than they actually are.
which is also a whole can of worms that I don't see enough people talking about. Which goes to show exactly how petty and small this company is. I mean, let's just be real, bro. If you don't understand that Genshin Twitter posts aren't botted, if you don't understand that Genshin streamers aren't botted, you're high. Like 1,000,000% they bot that shit to make it seem like they don't fall off, because if they're gonna bot followers, what aren't they gonna bot?
Of the 4.4 live stream, which is a lot of followers and a lot of people trying to make a point, trying to make some kind of point, and they're still dropping followers right now. Why though? The Chinese community was specifically very, very upset. What they talk about
justifiably
here
so.
is the reason why they're upset. And to thank everyone for their support and company over the past year.
3 years, 3 roles.
We're going to send you 3 intertwined fates.
Imagine that.
Wow! 3 fates for the past year of your beloved supporters of Genshin.
There you go. That's why aren't you excited?
I love MiHoYo.
It's great, bro.
Yeah, I completely understand the years that somebody's been on there. I do think that they should get more. I mean, it should be, there should be kind of a computer system where people get certain points and everything for the years they've been on there. Somebody like me, you know, I probably would deserve 3 intertwined fates or something. I don't know. Or 5. Maybe 10. I don't know.
They're already trying to kill me.
Yep.
Anyway.
Imagine being so afraid. Oh my god. Oh my god. You had to include it was a joke. Oh my god, bro. I'm sorry, man. If people can't figure out that that's a joke with their own IQ, then just let them think whatever the they want, because clearly they're imbeciles. If they can't tell.
Actually, I think a lot of this times it's people who are involved in cancel culture and realizing that he could get canceled for something. Or there's people who are autistic who can't take subtlety or sarcasm, which is unfortunate, but yeah, people who are on the autistic spectrum would not be able to understand that. Sometimes. Depends on how high levels of autism they have.
Oh, that shit's a joke by themselves. That's insane.
Anyways, kind of a slap to a face. Now,
low key, still funny.
I understand people complaining about rewards from their perspective.
Guys, I want to say something very clearly. I would never. Okay, I want to make that very clear. Okay, if I end up and people are like, "Oh, bro, it was just out of nowhere. He just killed him." No, it didn't happen. Okay, so letting you know, going on record, I would never kill. In case any of these assassins come and they try to end my life and make it look that way. Okay. Okay, let's make that clear.
They're giving and showing support and love to a game and company they really appreciate, and after a year of that, if the company doesn't really reciprocate that same kind of love back, it kind of sucks. It's kind of...
Yeah, I mean, don't worry, man. I mean, they haven't pulled their head out of their ass for 3.5 years, but maybe if we get them 20 more, then maybe they'll actually finally get it.
Kind of a slap in the face. I can't disagree with that.
No. It's not a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face, a punch in the nose, a shit in the mouth.
Now, I also understand people who still play the game and don't really give a...
Yeah, I have to say that's a little extreme. Like, it's content. I know what he's trying to do.
They just want to play. They don't care what happens. The company could slap them in the face anyways, and they'd still play. That's fine. Both sides are fine. Both sides are a preference of how they want to enjoy the game.
I always love how there's always this argument of, yeah, well, some people don't care, so, you know, it's not really an everybody issue, and it's just the vote.
I care just a little bit, just out of curiosity's sake, for the whole thing. But honestly, I technically don't care. I just am like, you know, I got me some popcorn. Let's watch this light show. Where did I stop at? There we go.
Low key, still funny.
I understand people complaining about rewards from their perspective.
Guys, I want to say something very clearly. I would never. Okay, I want to make that very clear. Okay, if I end up, you know, or like, you know, maybe upgrade to like some brick houses. When all you know is shit, then shit's gonna taste pretty good, right? But imagine how good dirt's gonna taste when you've been eating shit your entire life. And we all know dirt is still bad, right? So I really don't like this argument at all.
That's fine.
It's-
So letting you know, going on record, I would never kill in case any of these assassins come and they try to end my life and make it look that way, okay? Okay, let's make that clear.
They're giving and showing support and love to a game and company they really appreciate, and after a year of that, if the company doesn't really reciprocate that same kind of love back, it kind of sucks. It's kind
Yeah, I mean, don't worry, man. I mean, they haven't pulled their head out of their ass for 3.5 years, but maybe if we get them 20 more, then maybe they'll actually finally get it.
of a slap in the face. I can't disagree with that.
No. It's not a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face, a punch in the nose, a there, and I saw a bunch of monkeys sitting there eating their own shit, and they were. I love how there's always this argument of, yeah, well, some people don't care, so, you know, it's not really an everybody issue, and it's just the vocal minority issue. Okay, all right. If I was sitting there and I saw a bunch of monkeys sitting there eating their own shit, and they were okay with it, doesn't mean that I'm still probably going to want to give them a bunch of bananas. Because even though these people are too stupid to realize that the game is in a horrible state, doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to speak up and fix it for other people who are too stupid to understand. I really don't like this argument whatsoever. You know, it's like, for example, when a bunch of people are living in a village and they're used to living in mud huts and, you know, they have to eat like bugs every day, right? To them, that seems fine. They're like, oh, okay, this is fine. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to at least get them some AC, you know? Or like, you know, maybe upgrade to like some brick houses. When all you know is shit, then shit's gonna taste pretty good, right? But imagine how good dirt's gonna taste when you've been eating shit your entire life. And we all know dirt is still bad, right? So I really don't like this argument at all.
That's fine. Well, it's clear that the CN side has chosen a very specific way to enjoy the game. And they did not appreciate that at all. And I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either. CN is a lot more hardcore when it comes to gaming, and I will keep this 100%. I think that unfollowing Genshin Impact on their social media pages, as well as review bombing Genshin only, not Honkai, not Google Classroom, okay, not Nights, review bombing just Genshin is a great way to deal with this, okay? Only Genshin. Okay, because a game that treats their players poorly should be low rated, okay? As well as a game, social media company that is so out of touch, deserve to be unfollowed because I'll be real, they're not going to communicate with us anyways.
3 wishes for an entire year of playing Genshin.
And I have a question. Well, why even make Genshin Impact accessible globally in the first place? I don't know, that doesn't technically for me make sense, other than, oh, we can make money, but you're not going to listen to your Western / international audience.
Doesn't feel really good. Doesn't feel good. After 3 years of Genshin, you think they would be a bit more enthusiastic about the rewards. It's still dropping. They're still losing followers. And not only that, Bilibili, which is basically Chinese YouTube if you don't know what that is. The Bilibili game website, like page for Genshin Impact, are being review bombed. They are unfortunately getting a ton of 1-star review bombs on Genshin.
No. It's not unfortunately. It's fortunately. Okay, this will be something that will actively get their attention 1,000,000%. Because nobody's going to want to go to an app store that hasn't heard of this game and download a game with a 5 score out of 10. Okay, people these days are like 8.5 and up. They're not going to around with a 2 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. It's 100% deserved.
Genshin is at 5.9 points out of 10. Not a hot look for Genshin.
It's not.
Not going to lie. If we take a look at the past, on their first anniversary, had a similar experience in the Western fan base. More specifically on the Google Play.
The Chi-Chi Fallen spam in Discord was insane. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that shit was funny. And the worst thing is the devs were so out of touch, they
And I'm not on Discord. I don't really care enough to try and connect with the community just because, hey, I'm not involved in the anime community that much. Other than the specific niche genre of Christian weeaboo community. But, because I know how toxic they are. I mean, any fandom is going to be toxic because you have a few weirdos and loudmouths that are going to do that.
didn't even get that they were being shit on. That's the best part. That Chi-Chi Fallen shit was so good.
Play Store where people review bombed there because they
Yep.
were also upset about the rewards. Honestly, rightfully so. If
Yep.
again, if you are showing so much love and support and you don't feel like you're feeling the reciprocation from the company, not good.
Okay.
Listen, this might be a hot take. I don't know, but personally, I think there should be some kind of equal love between the company and the player base, and also the
I agree.
creators. Please send us goodie bags or Genshin stuff. How come only Chinese creators get the goodie bags? What about us? We also promote your game and play your game. Anyways,
And you know what's crazy? I mean, this is coming from the guy who met DeWay. Now, there is a specific take that Tuano made earlier that I saw on a Twitch clip that I'm wondering if he addresses. If he doesn't address it, I'll bring it up. Okay, I'll bring it up, and then we'll talk about that after his video's over. But yeah, even when Tuano, the guy that got flown out to meet the CEO, is complaining about rewards, I mean, that is really not a good look for the company.
Douyin, Chinese TikTok.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple minutes of that video that he did. So it's interesting that he came out about it. So I really think that this gentleman is Toronto, if I'm correct, coming out and saying this, and then, well, we'll watch the rest of the video.
They're at 8.4 million now from 9.3 million, I'm pretty sure, followers. The biggest part is not only are people unfollowing Genshin and
Yep.
review bombing, they
Yep.
are unfollowing companies that have collaborated with Genshin. And
Now, this is a really smart idea. The ethical side of it is very brutal because they have nothing to do with it. But hitting them in their sponsors is insane. Now that's extreme even for me. Right? That is extreme even for me. Am I going to say anybody who does it's in the wrong? No. My hands are clean. Go ahead and do my job for me without me advocating for it. But hitting Genshin where their sponsors are, I mean, that's just taking money out of their pocket. It's really aggressive. It's really aggressive, but it's definitely going to get their attention.
this includes KFC.
Yep.
If you remember the KFC wings.
Or Colonel.
Pizza Hut. They collab with Pizza Hut and Haiti. Collateral damage. Kind
Yep.
of, yeah. I
Yep.
even went to one of these.
AoE. It was AoE effect. Right? It's cleave. It's destruction. It's destruction of Honkai Star Rail. Triple target. 3 targets.
Haiti places to check out Genshin's collab.
Yeah.
And the drink was pretty good. I will say that. I will say the drink was pretty good. It was delicious. Anyways, that's completely off topic and far from the point. But the point is, it's kind of reaching outside the spectacle and unfortunately taking out companies that really didn't have any reason or any part in giving the low rewards that MiHoYo gave. Rip Pizza,
Right.
rip KFC.
I'm also just going to not feel bad for a multi-billion-dollar company. Nobody's going to stop going to KFC because of review bombing or Pizza Hut. Okay, they're fine. It doesn't matter.
Haiti. Doesn't matter anyways. Just a side note I just wanted to put out. Who cares about them anyways, right? Except Haiti. You know,
True.
pretty good boba. What is also funny, people are making content about foreigners reacting to the strike.
What the wait, what? What the is
Oh my
this?
God.
I've never seen this shit. Who the is that bald man? Wait, yo, somebody shoot me a link to that shit. What the bald foreigner? Do not tell me they call me bald foreigner. What the is that?
Essentially.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because he's very brash and loudmouth. This other gentleman.
And of course it's Tectone because he's the only creator who just reacts to drama anyways. So of course the foreigners are gonna pick him and just put him on Douyin. But I find out that was really funny too.
No. That's not it. And first of all, Tuano, Let me correct you, little boy. Calling out a company's bad practices isn't drama. It's not. It's about getting the players what they f***ing deserve.
Honestly, I think the intent on both sides for him and Toronto has a lot to do with it's content for YouTube. He knows he's going to get views. He knows he's going to get views. I kind of know when I'm going to get views. Well, probably not as much as they are. But I've used to be running around in the SJW anti-SJW content on YouTube, and they would always try to call out these companies in the West who don't care. And it doesn't seem like they're listening either. So I think it's just a company thing. It's just that it's going to be different in the East. They might have a little bit more conservative viewpoint of not taking outsiders' criticisms well. But I'll get more into that in a moment.
Okay? Now, if I were to pull up some Discord logs that people ask me to never show, and then I blast that on the Twitch and say, hey, this guy's a pussy, look at this bullshit he's sending and nobody knows about it, that's drama. One man versus one company, that is not drama. That is about starting a movement, okay? That is about starting getting players rallied behind one common cause to get everybody what they deserve, rather than lying down like a little dog, okay? So get this drama bullshit off my name. You wanna know why? Because I do love drama, but this ain't it. This is not it, okay? This is not drama, 100%.
Actually, technically, I think it is. Honestly, just the way he was reacting, but it's content. If you can be loud, brash, and entertaining, you'll have it made. Or if you look a certain way, you have it made.
So it's clear that the other side of the world
They call me a revolutionary.
is pointing out that the Westerners are also taking point as well.
Yeah, you want to know why they picked me? Because I'm the realest ass bitch in this fake ass world. Okay, let's just be real. I've been saying what everybody else has been thinking the whole time. And the whole time you got all these now piggybacking on my side because that's what the rest of the world thinks. So now they can actually say what they want to say. I've been taking heat for this goddamn community for 3.5 years for the shit that everybody already knows, but it's too much of a pussy to say it. Let's just keep this shit 100%. Because that's crazy now that everybody knows that it's okay to talk about it. Now everybody's talking about it. But when it goes with a little bit of risk in their career, I ain't going to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole to the point where they won't even say my name and call me second person. I'm like Voldemort.
Well, the big thing is you don't want to come off as being Kevin, like the equivalent of a Karen, because it works both ways. It doesn't matter which side of the pond you're on. People don't like being treated like trash, you know. This is coming from when I used to work in the retail side of things. That's the only reason why I'm bringing that up. It has nothing to do with the Genshin Impact's issues.
This goddamn community, Baltimore. Sorry. Let me know.
It's more or less a product. Like you trying to sell a product. You mess up and you don't want to deal with people, if you know what I mean.
I'm making shit up, boys, because seems that way to me. A couple of weeks ago when I was talking about this shit, drama. Now everybody's talking about this shit. That's crazy, right? They'll make some way to twist like, well, it wasn't a real problem until just recently. Yes, it was, always was.
And we've seen this in the past as well because of Zhongli. If you remember Zhongli back then, people were very, very, very upset about Zhongli when he was released.
And to quote a great man, you want to know how they're posting my shit on Bilibili? You know what happened the last time they posted my shit on Bilibili? Let's just ask a question. Does anybody remember the last time they posted my shit on Bilibili? What happened? It was my staff of homopolls, by the way. And you know what happened? They changed the weapon banner, by the way. So, call me what you want, but you know for a fact I'm gotcha Jesus. Let's keep it 100%. Okay, I'm tired of these mother piggybacking off all my hard work and not giving me my just desserts, my credit. Should be thanking my ass.
More specifically, the CN community. Now,
Yep.
I've said the CN community a lot because the CN community tends to have a much larger impact than the Western community. Why? Well,
Pun.
because the CN community is the majority of MiHoYo's money. Companies usually focus more
Hoyoverse.
on the country of origin where they're supported, right? And that's just how it is. I mean, that's just how it is. That there's nothing wrong with that, right? Showing love to, you know, your first supporters is what matters most to them, and that's totally fine.
No, it's not. No, that's not. That makes no sense. So that means that all players are not created equal. And that means if you play in China, you get special privileges. A person who plays for 1 day in China gets better treatment than someone who's been playing for 3.5 years in global. It's not okay. I will not let that narrative slide. It's bullshit. And there should be equal treatment for every single player who plays the game. If you
Well, here's the thing. They're a homogenized country. They're going to treat their people in their own country with more. I mean, man, this goes into foreigners. Oh man, I'm thinking of PC stuff, and I don't want to get into that. But should foreigners be treated with more respect? I don't know if I can word this correctly. You know how people were trying to go, I hate to, go across the border and they bring in like drugs and stuff like that, and we gotta treat them all equally. But yeah, we treat them equally, but you also got to do it the right proper channels, you know. So I don't know if that makes sense and it would apply to what what he's talking about, or what both of them are talking about. I don't know if other companies in America that has games, do they treat people from overseas differently than how they treat others in America? It kind of in PC culture, it seems like they'll treat foreigners better than the people living here. I mean, I hope I'm making a good point, and I'm sorry you have to get into the PC aspect of things.
You can't get that. I would love to talk to anybody who disagrees with that. But nobody deserves better treatment than anybody else. Equal treatment for everyone is a thing I am a very proud advocate of. That shit. That makes no sense to advocate for anything else.
But if we are looking at past incidents, we could imagine that there might actually be some sort of change, like we had with Zhongli. They might actually change something about the...
I hate when these creators won't bring up the weapon banner and how I changed it, because they hate that they know that I did. They hate knowing that I was the change for that weapon banner. They hate.
I don't know much about that stuff. I don't particularly care. I got other things I'm curious about in life other than this. But it just, to me, that comes off as arrogant, and there's this air of superiority that's that, oh, I'm important. And no offense to him, that's just how it seems to be from a new person's perspective, being exposed to the content now.
Hate it. Shit is so frustrating. Hey, at least y'all know.
4.4 update or release. I'm not gonna say they will, because I don't know, okay? But all I'm saying is, from past scenarios, the CN community was loud enough to bully MiHoYo into basically buffing Zhongli. And if this is the same case, we might get some more rewards for Lantern Red. That'd be cool. I don't care. That'd be awesome. I don't really give a fuck anyways. But anyways,
I think he kind of does. The word bully, that's kind of an odd way to put it, because I kind of wondered, just because he's under he went to Hoyoverse's company building and was invited, is like, what's your real intention, dude? You try to cover up your behind, but you also want to be as balanced as possible to make content, you know?
Another news, Fobmaster once again is complaining about custom loadouts, but we know damn well they will never pay attention to him or anyone else that complains about custom loadouts, because we're never going to get it because they're afraid to add custom loadouts. Thank you, Fobmaster, for pointing that out.
Yep.
Lastly, Ziox is complaining, or not more complaining, but he's more stating that people shouldn't compare Genshin and Honkai Star Rail.
I swear to God, Tawano, you know they should. I'm trusting in you, homie. Surely you know they should.
I think somebody best described it as like brother, like they're both brothers, and they're like, well, why did that person get more than, and I didn't get much, you know, or something to that effect. I don't know if Star Rail is available worldwide, so I don't. That information probably needs clarification, but I don't care enough. I'm not even going to do that. Look into that, but
It's called leverage to make a change. There's no way somebody else doesn't get this. Please acknowledge that they should.
This kind of all stirs together where people try to complain about the games and compare the games. Personally, I don't care about complaining or the comparing of the games, right? But I don't really think that you should compare the games.
Why?
I think people are more upset about the comparing of the rewards, right? Because people are a bit upset that some other game, Honkai Star Rail, for example, may get more rewards than Genshin.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine to say,
Good.
hey, I wish my game.
and I think it's probably some I read a little bit about this. It might be on two different teams working on these games, and that's probably the reason. And it does come off as stingy, but honestly, from my perspective, especially during the holidays, like I got a 5-star character, and I got Navia, I got Noelle, I got one of those limited edition swords. I'm not sure if it's a claymore or not. But the Fontaine Quest claymore, I think. And I'm perfectly content with what I have, at least for now, because I just want D-Luke, okay? That's pretty much what I want, but I'm always happy to have another character. I haven't gotten the Chi-Chi yet, but, you know.
Would give me that. That's fine. That's
Good.
a very valid feeling
100%.
to have.
100%.
And that's what you deserve too.
100%.
If you think you deserve that, you probably do if you play a MiHoYo game.
Yep.
However, that's just not the reality, and it always comes down to the fans arguing against each.
Okay, this is just a nitpick because Twanto said MiHoYo, and he's saying it's Hoyoverse. Is there a reason for that? I shouldn't be asking this. I have too much information on my plate anyway. Too much information overload. But, what's the reason for that? Is he Chinese or some other Asian nationality?
Each other which game is better for the sake of pride and joy. But I also don't give a shit about that because it's just a game, and we all just need to come together, kiss, make out, and agree that MiHoYo.
To me, this comes off as dismissive, and I know why he's probably doing that, and it might be not just because of him going to the building, the company, and meeting his staff and all.
Should just give us more rewards in general.
I always find it really funny whenever Hoyoverse get nervous talking about serious issues, they have to make it gay, right? Have y'all ever noticed that? The moment that anybody doesn't want to, like, give a take, they say, oh, I think we should all just make out and kiss. Because it farms alms and chats. Because they're like, oh my god, gay joke. Lamau, how scandalous. Oh my god, kissing, sex, lol. Right? Like, oh, come on.
No, I think it has a lot to do with the culture. Because they believe in group harmony, just like how the Japanese do. Korea's like that, and other Asian countries are very collectivistic, so they don't want to cause a fuss too much, especially people who are in a different rank.
No, okay, let's be real. Comparing Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact from gameplay-wise makes no sense. They're different genres entirely. Now, you can compare them to endgame sense for what modes they have. Genshin has none. Honkai has like 5. not even like 1,000. We'll have another one probably in 2.1. Who knows, right? And then rewards is fine to compare them with, because like Honkai Star Rail gets $1 million, and then Genshin Impact gets like, I don't know, a toothpick. Yeah. But comparing a turn-based RPG to an open-world adventure game is just dumb, right? But you can compare. It's nuanced, right? It is nuanced. And also the argument of it's just a game makes no sense. You can say it's just a game. Why do you have to be mad? But to quote
I'll be frank. Yeah, it is just a game, but I think people overblow it because they're so in their head. I don't know if I can make sense of this, but I understand where he's coming from. But I also think his intent is to be passive aggressive at the same time. I think both of these guys are coming at approaching it in completely different ways, and I think they're approaching it both wrong.
a great man, the phrase "it's just a game" is such a weak mindset. You are okay with what happened. Losing. Imperfection of a craft. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice. Okay? Ninja, God rest it.
Well, it's not as important as maybe like, you're working two jobs, or the government is not is making the housing market skyrocket or something to that effect, because that's more important than a game. And that's probably a reaction to some deeper issues that are, I think, what would be called cognitive dissonance, and trying to avoid a different problem entirely, and taking your frustrations out on others, on the game and the company itself. And that's just my hot take.
To soul. But saying it's just a game, why be mad about improper rewards, is a pretty bad take. I actually genuinely believe that, because this, to some people, is just a game, but to a lot of other people, it's their life. It's their favorite thing to do. And when people are spending day after day, dollar after dollar supporting a company, they deserve to be treated in the same regard. And, I'm not asking for free 5 stars, but increased rewards and actually a way to continue enjoying the game in longevity, just like the game originally promised. So I don't really think that just saying it's just a game, don't be mad at it.
I think if this was a Japanese game, I think we would probably see a much different company that would be more respectful, in my opinion.
The company does is a really, really, really weak argument, but that's just me.
Because that makes everyone happy. Another rumor I want to point out: people were expecting the 5-star or some kind of skin selector for Genshin. Now they didn't announce it, and during my live,
the skin selector that Dewey used to cover over his reptilian body. Like when all the aliens and the lizards who run Hoyoverse, they're like, "Ooh, what skin should I take to appear human?"
Okay, that's
3
funny.
poles. That one, yeah. See, the problem is they use it on themselves. They forgot to give it to Global.
live stream when I streamed on YouTube, people were very upset in my chat because a leaker said, "Oh, we're getting a skin selector. Oh yeah," and then they didn't announce it. Well, they kind of did technically. So apparently PlayStation is having a collab once again with Genshin, and within that collab, if you purchase a PlayStation via CN Bilibili, you get a bunch of rewards.
They don't.
And luckily Zeniat, my good friend, was able to confirm it. The skin selector rumor
I'll be frank, I do think that's not fair.
was real, but only exclusive to a PS5 bundle
Enjoy
in
that.
China. And you are able to choose any of these 4-star skins. A lot.
Bro, imagine if the 5-star character summon thing for Honkai Star Rail is.
But honestly, I wouldn't care for a skin. Just depends if it improves on the character's look in some way. But yeah.
Also just like a Switch 2 bundle. Can you imagine that shit?
That are rich on 5-star characters, like Jean, my favorite character. Thank you, Zenia, for confirming this. Kind of sucks that we don't get that, but at least CN gets something. So
Nope. That's not how it works. That's legit Well, at least CN gets something. That's not how it works. That makes it worse. Let me just make sure he's joking.
So, go them, you know? Go them. Consider
It does sound a bit like sarcasm, but also some level of disappointment at the same time. I'm kind of reading into it, how his reaction is. There's a reason for it, and it's all has to do with culture.
considering all of this
Okay, thank God he admitted that it's cope. Okay, CN getting something is way worse. And you saying, I'm sorry, you saying at least CN gets something and we don't, that's you it's essentially saying that you're a f***ing cock. Okay, well, you know, at least my girlfriend's having sex with another guy. I'll get my turn eventually.
Yeah, he's not able to read like I am.
You know, like, okay, bro, CLM. Like, what the f***?
combined, Genshin seems to be on fire lately. And that's okay. It'll eventually go down. Some of these complaints, I think, are completely valid, for sure, right? Again, people have been playing this game for a very, very... Why is it so dark? Why am I so dark?
Symbolic.
A very long time. And I think it's completely valid to say, hey, I've shown you love for the past 3 years. Please show me love back. And MiHoYo said, no, we will show you love the way we want to show you until the CN community complains, and then maybe they'll change. So that's pretty much how situation of MiHoYo is right now. Just wanted to make a video about that because I think these things are very interesting to talk about. I don't actually play Genshin or Star Rail as much as I used to. I still play on the side. I love grinding it. I am excited for CN.
No, let me just ask you a question. A lot of these creators, Atsu, Tuano, Doro, there's so many creators that just say, I don't really play Genshin or Honkai Impact or Honkai Star Rail as much, so it doesn't really bother me. Now, let me just ask a question.
And that's kind of interesting, honestly, because it sounds like it's just content for them. I mean, for both sides, it's just content to put out online to make some money. So,
Question. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? And for someone who barely plays the game, why do you insist on saying that it's fine? I barely play. It's fine. Doesn't really bother me. And then everybody's just like, yeah, me too, I barely play, so I don't care. Then the situation doesn't involve you. Like,
it's content. That's what it is. It's putting content. Like how he was doing the cosplays and everything, you know?
bro, is that so hard? Like, yeah, no wonder it seems fine, because you're not even there. Like, the whole issue is about rewarding and getting...
And YouTube has a tendency to pigeonhole creators anyway, and you can't really... You have to focus on that one specific content, and because Genshin Impact is so popular amongst the gacha gaming community, or the gaming community in general, that's what you're gonna do, is just get views anyway. it's unusual. It's unusual people can be so fake online.
The proper treatment for people who do play. Like, doesn't bother us. I feel like it's such a weak take. I feel like it's such a fence-sitting strat. It's just, I hate that take. Well, then if you don't play, well, one, think about why the that is, because there's nothing to do, or because it's not as fun as it used to be. Because if you played a game every day and then you stopped, why do you think that is? I just don't.
Again, content. That's it. It's content. Two is also because he probably got ties with some of those people in some way. Not as strong or anything, just in case somebody watches it, but it's not like aggressive like how this gentleman right here is coming off as well.
Don't get it, man. And the worst thing is that people are gonna agree with that shit.
Even though she might power creep and replace Jean. But I still love MiHoYo. I still love the game. I still love what they've created over these years. Yeah, they have a little bit of perspective to change, because I think the community does deserve more at the end of
True.
the day
There you
for
go.
making their game such a very, very large thing, right? But
Good
I just
shit.
hope to see that there's a sort of balance in the future between the player base and the company, and I hope
Yep.
they come to meet and agree at some point. Today's not that point. The present, absolutely not.
Yep.
But that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like.
Okay, so here's the thing. So Tawano the other day made a take about saying how the way that I go about talking about the issues with Genshin Impact is wrong because it's so destructive. Now, let's a couple things. I want to make this very clear. Every single time there was change in Hoyoverse, it was because Billy posted a video of me that they use for leverage, right? Where they say, even the foreigners are pissed. And then they post me. I'm doing this all for a very specific reason. Second of all, if you don't agree with the way someone's doing something, right? And I'm going to say this, okay? You're going about your day, you're walking around, and then somebody says, hey, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. And then you say, oh, what's wrong, man? What's going on? Oh, you're just doing it wrong. Like, stop it. What do you do with that advice? You take it and you throw it away. It's not worth considering.
And that goes back to culture and like hierarchy and status. But I've heard in China sometimes they consider the customer, their slogan for the customer is always right, is that the customer is God. Weird as that is, and ew, like no. So I'm kind of like not completely understanding it, but I think they're really out of touch. They're out of touch with the international market because they're so closed off. I also think it has something to do with the CCP too, in some way. I don't know. That might be also an issue. But also, in America, we're more direct and blunt and to the point, and we like to be more upfront with people. I'm generalizing because I personally am not, but I see that probably influence in some of their media. That's why I'm like that. But they have a tendency to have a nature for group harmony, and I think that's where Zwanto's coming from. And trying to be as balanced as possible, and in almost in a passive aggressive way, but also want the audience is asking about his take on it.
Because here's the thing: if someone tells you that what you're doing is wrong and doesn't tell you how to do it right, then there's no point in even opening your mouth. It's really that simple. The way to correct Hoyo.
And that's also has to do with some people are very blind, and also, the people in higher up positions in Asia, from my perspective of what I know, I could be incorrect on that, is that you're not supposed to question authority. That's we all need to have group harmony. That's what they believe. You may not agree with that, but that's how they cope with it. And sometimes what they put in media is kind of a cry for help of trying to overthrow a system that's been established so long. So that's kind of their way to cope is through storytelling and media and stuff like that. You see that in Japanese RPGs, and this is a CRPG. I understand that, but that's my 2 cents on what the issue truly is and how do you approach that. And you really can't approach it in a respectful manner at all.
Versus behavior is to 1, stop spending money on the game. 2, take a break from playing the game. Unfollow them on their social media accounts. And 4, downvote them on the App Store. It's very simple.
I personally don't care. I honestly, I'm just a newbie. I got some stuff, new stuff. And I was very impressed that I got a Nadia 5-star after a couple of pulls. So I ain't complaining too much. Other than the quests can be aggravating. And I kind of wish that they were able to let me see the time on my computer so I don't waste too much of my time, because I know I'm playing too many hours too long on this game. But I know they want to make a buck somehow off of being on the server. But geez, I got a life too. I'm trying to do my best to live in the real world as much as possible while I find work. Well, I have from work. I'm just waiting on something. But yeah.
Right? Now, you can go check their profiles while not following if you want to stay up to date. But that's pretty much it. There's no other way to get their attention. That's it. And then also voice your concerns online. That's the only thing you can genuinely do. Okay? Because sitting there and waiting for them to get it just is not going to work. Okay? Or, you know what? Any Twitch chat you're in, post a Chi Fallen. It's really that easy. But yeah, I can't sit there and be told that what I'm doing is wrong when nobody ever tells me how to properly do it, right? Because I know what I'm doing is the correct thing to do. But that's just my opinion. I think Tuano, I'm very proud of him for making a video. I wish he would have been a little bit more direct.
I think that's the problem. Let me finish. Let me
direct on what he thinks, but he kind of...
He's not... It's a culture thing. It really is. They're more passive aggressive. A lot of Asian people are, no matter what nationality they're from or what country they're from. Still, group harmony is so important, and collectivism is very important to get along with people in the group. That's important to them. We as Americans and West in general are more really value individual and voicing your opinion, especially in America, where we believe in raising our voice about something that is wrong, and for them that's just very foreign to them.
I just summarized the issue and then didn't really give a take, but I'm still proud that people are talking about this issue, because I do think that a lot of people have made a video on it now, and I know that I have been a root cause for people talking about that, and that makes me very, very, very happy, and I know that because I've been mentioned in almost every single one of their videos.
And I honestly don't know, other than what they're doing is pretty much boycotting certain things, from companies to them to stop playing and all that, which, okay, you know, I don't really care enough just because I'm a new player, but I understand that people who have been playing it for years, who spent money on their stuff for years, deserve some treatment. People like me, probably not. Maybe get 3 intertwined fates like for me, or maybe 5 or 10. You know, just saying.
Regardless, good shit to every single creator who's actually talking out about this shit, and let's hope we see some good change, not a little bit of change. And bro, if I see people freaking the fuck out about getting a free 10 pull, because I know that's what's gonna happen, I'm gonna lose my mind. We're gonna fall back to the same games, because what we need to do is, if it's just a 10 pull, we need to double down again and say, no, that's not good enough. Okay, that's just my opinion. But what's yours? Leave a comment. Good shit to Tuano for at least talking about it. And yeah, see you on the next video. Go subscribe to his channel. Go subscribe to mine. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Okay. Well, thank y'all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day and wonderful week. And put your comments down below. And I will link to these channels. I'll try to link to the other one if I could find Tuantis. Tectone. That's what his name is. But yeah, this is a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. I hope you have fun with this. Okay, bye.